Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. On the long stone table outside Hujax's godly palace, Hujax Creator and 19 other universe masters gathered. Hujax Creator's gaze swept over the surroundings as his powerful voice boomed. We are here first to welcome Luo Feng and congratulate him on his safe return. Second, we are here to discuss the plan for our human race, rise in the universe ocean. Rise. Hearing this word, everyone, including Luo Feng, Primal Chaos City Leader, Blackness Master, Void Gold Master, and Deserted Mirror Master, held their breath in excitement. Yes. Time to rise. In the original universe, the human race was considered a pinnacle race, but in the vast universe ocean, they were so weak that if they were in the first reincarnation era or second reincarnation era, with only one universe supreme master leading the entire race, they would never qualify enough to be ranked as a pinnacle race. Even the 7 supreme universe masters of the Divine Eye clan were not worth a mention, as the pinnacle races from the first or second reincarnation era, on average, would have at least 3 to 5 universe supreme masters. The only presentable great being from the human race was Hujax, who was, alone, an extremely powerful being. The other universe masters, within the universe ocean, were weak in power and small in number. This time around, the plan is to rise in universe ocean. Hujax Creator was filled with excitement and expectation. Milky Way Horde leader shall lead, everyone else must cooperate. We must breed more undying fighters, more universe knights, and more universe masters from our pool of humans. And from there, we can bring up more universe supreme masters. Yes, yes, yes. One by one, clear and resounding responses were heard. The group of universe masters from humanity were full of hope for the future of their race, all of them filled with motivation. Furthermore, they had heard Luo Feng's preaching and were clearly aware that the ancient civilization had a systematic way of cultivation which was very useful. It would certainly be able to bring about developmental changes to the human race's capabilities. Besides, Luo Feng was very knowledgeable about the ancient civilization, and he was an heir of the pulse of Duandong River. He was the most suitable choice as leader. To choose someone who did not know much about the ancient civilization would be folly. Luo Feng also stood up and looked around. Will do my utmost best. For we humans, to truly dominate universe ocean, and become the top power of universe ocean. Dominate the universe ocean. Everyone was going through an emotional moment, even Primal Chaos City Leader and Hujax Creator felt tremors in their hearts, least to mention the other universe masters, who were all burning with passion. There was a saying that went, a soldier who did not want to become a general was not a good soldier. Amongst close to 100 powers in universe ocean, did any not covet after the status of first within universe ocean? It was a luxury that existed in their wildest dreams, not in reality. In the past, who would have enough clout to make such a remark? Not a single being would dare say so. No clout. Even when Teacher Origin was still around, he alone was very powerful. No one had ever mentioned anything about the human race daring to dominate universe ocean or daring to become the top power. After all, in terms of power, when compared to the 2 Holy Land universes, the human race was far too inferior. The 2 Holy Land universes had several hundred universe masters. The human race only had 19, including Luo Feng. And they even had universe masters to be, because there was a limit to the number of universe masters the Holy Land universes could accommodate, they were not able to provide them with godly powers to achieve their breakthroughs. That was why, even if several universe masters from the 2 Holy Lands were to be annihilated, their vacancies would be filled up very quickly. Speaking of supreme true treasures, 6-tiered universe masters of the 2 Holy Lands had quite a few. The human race. Not even one. Previously, even Hujax Creator himself did not have one. Luckily, he had since gained his godly axe. Hujax Creator's powerful voice was heard again. My human race will see the rise of a few hundred, or even 1,000, universe masters, and we will see the rise of a dozen universe supreme master. The 2 Holy Land universes shall not be able to hold a candle to us humans. How far we make it all depends on us. We are the heroes of our race. Let's work hard, everyone, for the future of our race. For the future of our race. For the future of our race. One after the other, the universe masters let out shouts of excitement. All of their hearts were trembling. Their hearts trembled because this goal was massive, so massive that in the past, they would not have dared make such claims. They would not have had the clout to do so. Yet now, Luo Feng had gained the inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River. This ancient inheritance gave them the confidence to desire to be the first in Universe Ocean. The human race would benefit greatly, and this would bring about an earth-shattering change. When the discussion ended, the other great beings left successively. Only Hujax Creator, Primal Chaos City Leader, and Luo Feng remained. Luo Feng. Hujax Creator was filled with anticipation. We have to trouble you during this period. Anything for our race, he said. Yes, for our race. Hujax nodded. There were two reasons why Luo Feng had started all of this after his return. Firstly, there were too many systems within the inheritance. The cultivation process was massive. Teaching and transmission of consciousness through the virtual universe was just too slow. Secondly, to cultivate the great beings who were going to take charge of the human's future, many items were required. For instance, ice mountains that contained lore engravings. These could only be found within the space of inheritance, so Luo Feng had to bring them back. This time, our plan to rise will consist of two parts, Hujax Creator said with a smile. The first part involves cultivating the individual power of our race's great beings. This will require time. The second part involves our supreme true treasures. You just returned to the original universe. When do you intend to make the deal with East Emperor Holy Land? I intend to set up the main framework for the various systems of cultivation within Primal Chaos City first, Luo Feng said. I think I will take around 10 days to half a month to complete everything. Then I will get in touch with East Emperor Holy Land. Hujax smiled. If I had known that you will be able to get these supreme true treasures, I would not have taken the risk and headed for Tilted Peak Sector. I am now rushing back from the core land of Tilted Peak Sector, but this core land is extremely dangerous, so I will need some time to rush back. All right, Hujax said. You and your teacher shall make the arrangements for matters regarding cultivation then. Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader departed without further ado. In the Primal Universe, Primal Chaos City, on the high grounds within City Leader Palace, Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader stood by the railings where they had a bird's-eye view of the countless buildings within Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng, this plan to rise is extremely important, Primal Chaos City Leader reminded him. The inheritance of that ancient civilization must never ever spread beyond our land. You will be leading the entire cultivation system, so you must be vigilant and take measures to prevent any leaked information. That is a given. Luo Feng smiled. With more and more great beings emerging within our human race, the other races and powers will naturally start to suspect something, which was why I chose Primal Chaos City as the cultivation land. It is safest here, where no other great beings would dare intrude. Besides, there are some things that even if a spy manages to catch a glimpse of, he will never be able to steal. For instance, the 300 ice mountains that I have prepared. Also, based on the different degrees and giftedness of individuals, I will prepare a more personalized cultivation method. The entire cultivation system was massive and complex. Other than the areas that involved items that Luo Feng had to prepare, there were also many other training methods that were placed within the virtual universe. Therefore, Luo Feng specially brought 12 memory stones back and placed them within the core area of the virtual universe that was located within the Primal Chaos City Leader Palace for the purpose of receiving the tremendous amount of information from the memory stones. Virtual Universe, Primal Chaos City, would be the main places allocated as the two major cultivation lands. Those in contact with confidential information were either the core higher-ups of the human race or the spiritual servants, and regardless of who it was, the amount of confidential information that every individual could get in touch with was only the tip of the iceberg. Only what the virtual universe acknowledged could truly become a system. And, of course, only Luo Feng knew the most. Original Universe, Milky Way Galaxy, Luo Feng's Godly Palace. I just returned from the original universe. Luo Feng held his transmission token and spoke into it. North True Star Master, fret not. The deal will take place soon. A message was sent from the virtual universe. It was from Primal Chaos City Leader, Luo Feng. Quickly get to the virtual universe. Huh? What could be so urgent? When Luo Feng laid eyes on the mail that Primal Chaos City Leader sent, he found it to be blood red in color, representing a message of extreme urgency. Shua. From where he appeared in the virtual universe, Luo Feng saw Primal Chaos City Leader standing right ahead of him on the apex of Thunder Island. Teacher. Primal Chaos City Leader wore a heavy expression. The moment he saw Luo Feng, he said right away, "Let's go." To Hujax's palace. He gave no explanation. Asterisk 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 asterisk. It was an endless darkness beneath the glimmer of the starry sky. On a floating piece of land, several figures appeared by the long table before Hujax's godly palace. Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader were the first to arrive. Teacher, what is going on? Luo Feng asked persistently. You will know in a while, Primal Chaos City Leader said in a dreary tone. Luo Feng secretly heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed like although the matter was extremely important, it was still within their control. If not, Teacher would not have waited for every single Universe Master to arrive. Soon, the 19 Universe Masters were all gathered again. Hua. A lone figure appeared out of nowhere and positioned himself in the host seat. It was Hujax Creator. Dear all, Hujax Creator said. His gaze swept through all 19 Universe Masters. Everyone looked over. They had all been summoned here with a note of urgency. I met with some trouble. Hujax Creator looked at the 19 top-notch beings of the human race, and, in a low voice, he continued. I was at the core ground of Tilted Peak Sector and met with trouble. The previous battle against Yuan Ao Master. That map that got leaked must have been a fake. The map is fake. Luo Feng was shocked. He had personally made the trip previously, and with Ice Mountain Master's help, he managed to seize a portion of that map. It was a trick, Hujax Creator said solemnly, but the opponent did not expect my power to be so strong, which is why they suffered a loss. But during the fight, I was extremely unlucky to have fallen into the land of darkness of the core ground. Land of darkness. Everyone, including Luo Feng, revealed expressions of shock and anger. The most detailed map of the human race that was shared by all had been mainly contributed by Luo Feng, so naturally, he would be the one who knew it the best. The Land of Darkness was a most terrifying domain within the core region of Tilted Peak Sector. Compared to it, other regions within the Universe Boat, like the so-called Flame Ice region and God-destroying Valley, were merely child's play. Every being knew that any place within that core region was much more terrifying than Flame Ice region. Moreover, they were now talking about the Land of Darkness, which was well known even to the other places among the core region itself. The danger it contained, though extremely terrifying, was still considered mid-range within the core region. However, of those who had fallen into the Land of Darkness, none had ever emerged again. It was a prison of despair. The Land of Darkness, said Hujax Creator. Although those who have fallen into it were all Universe Supreme beings, I have never heard of any who made it out of there. Hujax Creator's gaze swept through the 19 Universe Masters, and he solemnly continued, firstly, the number of Universe Supreme Masters who have fallen into the Land of Darkness was very few to begin with, but the small number cannot explain much about the place. Secondly, I am different from any ordinary Universe Supreme Master. I am not trapped in the Land of Darkness, unable to get out for the time being, but so long as we keep mum about this, no one besides us will know. I need time to slowly figure a plan to get out. During this period, my human race must maintain a lower profile. Hujax Creator was very solemn as he instructed, Teacher Origin has been suppressed, and I am trapped. There is no Universe Supreme Master to lead our race for the time being. This is very dangerous. Make sure this news does not leak out. One by one, the Universe Masters replied. Understood. Understood. Everyone was clear about the severity of the situation. Without a Universe Supreme Master in the lead, this news spelled great trouble. I am giving my best now, Hujax Creator said with a serious expression. No distractions. If there is nothing important, do not contact me. Then he vanished into thin air. Before Hujax's godly palace, 19 of the top beings of the human race were seated around the long table, looking at one another with hearts filled with worry. The land of darkness. What if Hujax Creator was unable to return forever? What should they do? Without a universe supreme master in the lead, the human race would meet with a lot of trouble in the future. The news about Hujax being trapped must not be leaked out beyond us, Primal Chaos City leader spoke up. This news will be classified as confidential, top secret. Luo Feng and the others nodded solemnly. Suddenly, just as Primal Chaos City leader, Darkness Master, Luo Feng, and the rest were feeling frustrated, Hujax Creator suddenly reappeared in the host seat by the long stone table. In his eyes, there was shock and anger as he roared repeatedly, "Remember, do not come to the land of darkness. Do not come here." The figure disappeared. All 19 of them, including Luo Feng, jumped to their feet as they felt something ominous. What's wrong? What did Hujax Creator meet with? Why did he disappear after saying that? Everyone was panicking. Merely a few seconds later, Void Gold Master's expression betrayed shock and fear as he said in a piercing voice, "Hujax's miniature universe is starting to fall apart. Hujax was annihilated. His universe is falling apart." Hujax was annihilated. Everyone grew frantic. Luo Feng, Primal Chaos City leader, Darkness Master, and the rest rose to their feet. One by one, they all fell into a state of momentary shock from the sudden news that had just hit them. This was a nightmare for the entire human race. Luo Feng, Primal Chaos City leader, Darkness Master, Void Gold Master, Pengong Master, Remote Lord Master, Qingdong Master, and the rest were worried, furious, and dumbfounded. The only universe supreme master of humanity who was capable of leading the race had fallen. The skies had truly collapsed over humanity. Hujax universe was one of the 2 miniature universes owned by humans. Teacher origin had been suppressed a long time ago, so the primal universe didn't change completely. Not many humans lived in the primal universe. Instead, the peerless talents and great beings gathered in the primal universe. As for Hujax universe, it had changed completely, so many ordinary life forms lived there. What happened? The sky is cracked. In an area in Hujax universe, the families of Hujax Dojo and the elites were all panicked. The peaceful sky suddenly had a giant crack in it. The sky started to collapse. Space trembled, and there were occasionally space cracks. Some unlucky humans lost half their bodies or were even annihilated. The land started to crack. Quick, quick. Everyone, gather. Don't act alone. An emperor looked anxious and put the humans inside his world ring by teleporting time and time again. Inside the space were 12 universe knights and 399 emperors who could perform teleportation. They were all putting the human elites back into their world rings, and Hong was one of them. "Brother, the space is crumbling. Quick, take the elites of our race and go to the main space. Be quick." The voice of Hong's brother, Tai by night, was still echoing in his ears. He was a disciple of Hujax Creator. "Yes," said Hong. One teleportation after another, he put a great many human elites into his world ring, but Hong was worried, anxious, and terrified. "The keepsake left by my teacher now has no owner," said Hong, horrified. "This is left by my teacher with my teacher's life imprint on it, yet it doesn't have an owner anymore. This miniature universe belongs to my teacher, but now, it's starting to crumble. Did teacher really die?" Hong grew even more anxious. He knew how important his teacher Hujax Creator was to the human race, as he was their only universe supreme master. He was the cornerstone of the human race. Yet the cornerstone was gone now. Asterisk 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 asterisk. They were all fleeing. Hong put the most important elites in the world ring one by one. As for those less important, before they could even take half of them, they heard an order: "Go to the main space now. Otherwise, you will no longer be able to leave. Everyone, quick." The universe knights and emperors took a look at the humans who were being crushed. They were screaming, "Help us! Help us, Nuo He clan. Take us, please. Take my child. However, those emperors and universe knights didn't hesitate, as they were carrying the most important elites. If they weren't decisive enough, they, along with those elites, wouldn't be able to make it. From the crumbling area, Hong and the others fled to the main space. After only a few seconds, the crumbling spread to the portal. Hong saw 3 towering beings after entering the main space. They were Void Gold Master, Lan Kang Master, and Ancestral Tree Knight. Quick, quick! Void Gold Master and Lan Kang Master were both Universe Masters from Hujax Dojo, while Ancestral Tree Knight was a top-tier Universe Overlord, so they could survive even if the miniature universe crumbled and the chaos airflow penetrated the miniature universe. However, many Universe Knights and Undying Fighters couldn't survive in Universe Ocean. Come in. Gather. Void Gold Master gave an order. He teleported again and took away all the Emperors and Universe Knights. Hong arrived at the main space and was taken into the World Ring by Void Gold Master. Everything changed. Almost 1,000 humans stood on the plane. They all looked horrified, as they couldn't believe what had just happened. Brother. Tai by Night stood beside Hong and transmitted his voice to him. Did the keepsake our teacher gave you change? Hong nodded. Still an object without any owner. Same here. Tai by Night looked upset. Did teacher just? He's so powerful. He's a universe supreme master. The spaces in the miniature universe, including the main space, started to crumble. Hong also looked upset. Teacher. Inside the main space of Hujax universe, Void Gold Master, Lan Kang Master, and Ancestral Tree Knight stood in the sky, and the membrane of the miniature universe already showed cracks. The chaos airflow penetrated the small universe. It was the purest chaos airflow, unlike that of the primal universe. Quick, let's go to other spaces and see whether we can save more or not, ordered Void Gold Master. Yes. Let's go. They separated and teleported to one space after another. It was urgent, so they saved the elites first. The elites were those selected from the original universe. They had great potential, so they were saved first. And then, the families were saved. Those families were of the Universe Masters or Universe Knights of Hujax Dojo. The land with a diameter of 100 billion kilometers started to collapse, and the space fragments were detached. Some of the space fragments contained lands where humans were struggling. When they saw the towering Void Gold Master show up, they were excited. Void Gold Master teleported and moved forward, trying to save those humans on the space fragments. On the independent dimension of the virtual universe. On the 2 sides of the bench in front of Hujax Godly Palace, the Universe Masters sat down, looking solemn. Each of the Universe Masters could feel the terrifying pressure. Void Gold, how's Hujax Universe? Asked Primal Chaos City leader. Void Gold Master sighed. We could only save the Undying Fighters, Universe Knights, and the important elites. As for the others, we can only save part of them. Lan Kang, Ancestral Tree Knight, and I are still saving them, but only a small number can survive. Elites are the ones that really matter. Primal Chaos City leader nodded. Hujax universe started to crumble, and those who die are only a small loss to us humans. However, if we can't cope with it well, we'll suffer billions of times worse. Luo Feng was horrified. What should they do? Without question, the death of Hujax is catastrophic to us, said Primal Chaos City leader. The map is fake. Who set this whole thing up? Why did Hujax die so quickly in Land of Darkness? These are all mysteries. I know that you all want to figure it out and avenge Hujax. However, for us humans, we need to put it behind first. Finding out the murders and means of revenge, these are things to do later. Do you all understand? Primal Chaos City leader looked around the Universe Masters present. We do. The fate of humans is the most important now. Though we all want to figure it out, we're not powerful enough. Even if we figure out who, we can't do anything about it. The Universe Masters all nodded. They were all the top seniors of the human race. They had Hujax Creator protect them before, so things were easy for them, yet Hujax Creator was dead now, they needed to deal with everything themselves. They needed to think from the standpoint of the entire human race. Okay, Primal Chaos City leader said, relieved. It was important to stick together. Hujax died. The small universe started to crumble, and lots of beings within our race know about it. As for other races like the bug race, the automaton race, and the demon race, they all have spies within our race, so they'll know about it in no time. Besides, great beings go on adventures in Universe Ocean, and it won't take a long time for them to know that Hujax universe has crumbled. Okay. They all nodded. They understood that within the human race, some spies had their souls controlled. And in Universe Ocean, it wouldn't take long for the Universe Masters to notice that Hujax universe had crumbled. Then they would all know that Hujax Creator had died. A Universe Supreme Master is extremely important to a race, said Primal Chaos City leader. They can control a vast area, and they can show up in lots of places in no time. They can revive Universe Overlords, as well. Without a Universe Supreme Master, a race can't even protect itself. We occupy an important territory, so there's no way the other races will not be tempted. The bug race, the demon race, the automaton race, and the humans. These 4 races occupied the best area of the universe. Beings born in this area had greater potential. Just like the desert area sitting mountain guest lived in couldn't breed any living beings. Even though the original universe was enormous, some territories could breed lots of great beings while others couldn't, which was why there were struggles. The 4 pinnacle races occupied the best 4 areas. Besides, territory struggles never end, said Primal Chaos City leader. Luo Feng received the Duandong River inheritance. That was okay when Hujax was here, but now, Hujax has died. Who doesn't want the inheritance of Duandong River? We must prepare for war. Remember, when Hujax died, we humans were forced into a different era. A more difficult era. Every universe master seated war an extremely solemn expression. The reason was obvious. There was nothing they could do to hide the truth. If Hujax Creator was trapped in the land of darkness, so be it. So long as, in their capacity as higher-ups of the human race, they did not let the news leak, nothing much would happen. But now, Hujax's miniature universe was starting to crumble and collapse. This was something they could not hide. A race without any supreme universe master, yet occupying what was said to be the best territory within the entire original universe and possessing the most precious inheritance within the entire Universe Ocean. Who would not be envious? Who would not be tempted? The Bugs clan, the demons, the automaton race. For countless years, they had been fighting the humans ceaselessly. When Hujax was around, that was the case. Without Hujax, would the 3 pinnacle races show mercy? We are no longer the human race we were before. Primal Chaos City leaders' gaze swept over them once. We no longer have the protection of a Universe Supreme Master. The severity of the situation is clear. Let's put our heads together to think about what we should do now. War is imminent. Pengong Master, who was normally all smiles, was without a trace of a smile at that moment. Solemnly, he said, "This is for sure. And this war will not be small-scale hassles like before. This is a true war that concerns the extermination of an entire race, which is why, no matter what, we must first preserve the seeds of our race. Regardless of the outcome of the war, we must first be prepared for failure." True. That's right. Everyone nodded in agreement. In a war that implicated the extermination of an entire race, it was necessary to consider failure before battle. "We need to look out for our next generation," Void Gold Master said right away. "Especially for the next generation living in our territory that displays high potential. We have to quickly gather all our members from the 1008 universe countries who are at the universe level, domain level, and sector lord level, respectively. Then bring them over to the primal universe. More importantly, all the undying spirits and universe knights must be brought over to the primal universe. These undying spirits are the fruits of our accumulation over endless time, relying on the system of cultivation that Milky Way Horde Leader has acquired from the ancient civilization. Given the large number of undying spirits of our human race, we can certainly cultivate a group of universe knights, and eventually, they will progress to becoming universe masters." True. That's right. For countless years, Our number of undying spirits has grown to a sizable number. We must bring them all away. Everyone nodded in agreement. Undying spirits were useless in wars that involved the extermination of entire races, but in the future, they were likely to become universe knights or even universe master. The human territory is vast, and there are countless ordinary citizens, Void Gold Master continued. Wishing to bring all the humans away with us is impractical, and even if war truly happens, all the other life planets with humans, like the Bug Clan and the Automaton race, will not mindlessly kill or seek to exterminate the ordinary humans. Luo Feng nodded. This was the typical line of thought. When wars that involved the extermination of entire races happened, the killings of great beings were exceptionally brutal. The worst scenario was that the killings went out of control and the ordinary humans were implicated. Otherwise, the rampages would not usually involve the deliberate slaughter of ordinary humans, and because one party started slaughtering, the opposing party could also start to slaughter. And for most ordinary humans and demons, so long as a large batch of humans was released from the various god countries of undying spirits and scattered across the various life planets, after 100 years or 1,000 years, their numbers could rapidly proliferate. That was why, when it came to ordinary inhabitants, so long as there was a large pool of surviving humans within the god countries and world rings that would be the seeds preserving the existence of a race, the human race could rapidly multiply. Therefore, the influence over a race would not be that great. The truly great influence was the territory. Only with a potential territory could there be a place for breeding humans. The greatest trouble we face now is that we are too weak, Darkness Master said in a low voice. Within our race, me, Primal Chaos City Leader, and Peng Gong are considered 5th-tier Universe Masters. We may be able to exchange blows with Universe Supreme Masters, but we can only ensure our survival. Anything more than this, such as restraining the opponent, is simply beyond us. If the Universe Supreme Masters want to leave, they can do so speedily, because they are not limited by the universe laws. Throughout the entire war, we are going to be at a great disadvantage. There is something I have yet to tell you all, Primal Chaos City Leader said. Everyone looked toward Primal Chaos City Leader instantly. Luo Feng, you say it. Primal Chaos City Leader looked towards Luo Feng, causing Darkness Master, Void Gold Master, Qingdong Master, Remote Lord Master, Longyang Master, and the few others in the group to follow suit. I am going to make a deal with East Emperor Holy Land, Luo Feng began. This matter had to be brought into the open. And now was the crucial moment, as it would greatly help in boosting their morale. Deal? Darkness Master, Peng Gong Master, Ice Mountain Master and the rest had doubts springing up their minds. Yes, this deal will enable the human race to lay hands on 2 supreme true treasures, Luo Feng said with a solemn face, and between the two, one is a palace-type true treasure. 2 supreme true treasures? 2. Milky Way Horde Leader, are you sure you are not mistaken? Supreme true treasures. Darkness Master and Ice Mountain Master, who were usually very calm, were shocked beyond words, whereas the other Universe Masters all started to show happy expressions. This was timely help in their hour of distress, just as they were lamenting how bleak their future was, that the human race would face great losses regardless of which pinnacle race attacked them. They did not even dare consider the possibility of being under siege. Now, learning that they were going to be given supreme true treasures, their minds were instantly put at ease. Supreme True Treasure, otherwise known as Dominating Clan True Treasures, would be able to turn the tables for the human race. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. This deal is about to take place very soon. Inheritance. Darkness Master suddenly said. Silence prevailed as all the other Universe Masters looked over. This ancient civilization was the root of the rise of the human race. They might be in a predicament now, but to hand over the inheritance as part of the deal was something they were most reluctant to oblige. Luo Feng shook his head. Don't worry. I will not do anything that will shake the roots of our race, that's for sure. This deal was finalized long before Hujax's fall, so we are not at any disadvantage to start with. All right. Primal Chaos City Leader ordered. Stop wasting time. Now, all the Universe Masters, wherever you are, be it the Universe Ocean, or the original stars, all of you are to report back within the shortest time possible. and my human race, regardless of whether you are from the pulse of the dojo, the pulse of the virtual universe belonging to the division of the 5 pulses, or any division of the universe countries, in short, so long as you are from the human race, all undying spirits must speedily make your way to the primal universe. The top higher-ups merely had a concrete set of guidelines. As for the execution and detailed planning, all of these were naturally carried out by the Universe Knights or even the Undying Spirits. The meeting ended quickly with all the Universe Masters speedily departing. Only Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader remained. Luo Feng. Primal Chaos City Leader shouted for Luo Feng. Teacher. Luo Feng turned around. You must be extremely careful at all times, Primal Chaos City Leader said solemnly. These 2 supreme true treasures are extremely important. You also obtained a supreme true treasure from the pulse of Duandong River. If that is the case, we humans will at least have some strength of resistance. As for the deal with East Emperor Holy Land, you must make it quickly, before East Emperor Holy Land changes its plans once they catch wind of the news about Hujax's annihilation. Luo Feng nodded with understanding. The humans were weak. When it seemed as though they could be the subject of bullying by any other race, the East Emperor Holy Land might seriously entertain other thoughts and change its mind about the deal. Don't worry, teacher, Luo Feng said solemnly. I have the boat of Mausoleum. They are dreaming if they think they can snatch it from me by force. I will take a firm stand on this deal and will show no trace of retreat. Yes, make a fast deal. I only fear a change. Primal Chaos City Leader said. All right, I will get in touch with North True Star Master right away, said Luo Feng. He also worried, as before this, the 2 supreme true treasures were just extra blessings of fortune bestowed upon them to further enable their plan to rise. But now, these 2 supreme treasures were vital to the human race. Earth, Luo's family ancestral home. Luo Hai, Luo Ping. Luo Feng was on the host seat as he ordered. You 2 brothers will take all the core members of our Luo family and leave right away. Take them with you to another place in the world. And, from the entire pulse of Earthlings, in the name of Ping Hai Company and other transfer companies, gather around 1 trillion humans from the pulse of Earthlings and bring them along, too. Dad. Dad, you mean? Luo Hai and Luo Ping were both full of doubts. The human race is going to face a great calamity, Luo Feng said directly. Don't ask any further questions. Just do as I say. Now. Yes. Luo Ping and Luo Hai had a good shock and did not hesitate further. Calamity? The human race was going to face a calamity. Who was their father? Someone of the highest rank among the entire human race. If he said that there would be a calamity, then it would be the absolute truth. Core members of Luo Feng's family? 1 trillion humans from the pulse of Earthlings? After such a long period of growth, the Luo family numbered in the millions. The pulse of Earthlings was a number much more exaggerated than the Luo families. This was why choosing from the core members and trillions of people from the pulse of Earthlings. Obviously, seeds had to be preserved. With these seeds and time, no matter how much time was required, the human race could rapidly proliferate and regain vitality and prosperity like before. Luo Ping and Luo Hai dashed out, started to mobilize the great energy of the entire Luo family and got to work. Luo Feng. Shushin looked at her husband and asked, what happened? Hujax has been annihilated, Luo Feng said in a low voice. Shushin's eyes widened. Hujax. She was Luo Feng's wife, so she naturally would know the structure of the highest committee of the entire human race. She also knew that the entire human race only had one universe supreme master, Hujax Creator. Hujax had been annihilated. This was definitely an impending calamity, or something even more terrifying. I will remain on Earth and then take you all to the primal universe, Luo Feng said. He was one of the great beings who made up the pillars of the human race, but he was also the leader of the pulse of the Earthlings. Just in case, he was taking the Luo family's core members and 1 trillion humans from the pulse of the Earthlings. As for those who remained, even if there truly was a war, things would not be so bad for the ordinary humans. Unless the higher-ups of the human race suffered a crushing defeat in the battle and had to retreat into the primal universe after a complete loss, That was when the entire human territory had no choice but to accept the fate of a great extermination of human. A crushing defeat. Luo Feng had no confidence of winning the battle, but he did not believe they would lose to the extent that they had to retreat to the primal universe. Asterisk 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 asterisk. In the vast universe ocean, a lone vessel was teleporting amidst the chaotic airflow, advancing forward, when suddenly, some distance ahead, a broken universe appeared. It seemed to have lost half of its original size. Within the boat of Mausoleum, Luo Feng looked out into the distance. North True Star Master, I have made it. Luo Feng held the transmission token and spoke into it. He had gotten remote ocean body to return to Earth to make all the necessary arrangements. As for his original Earthling body, of course it would enter Universe Ocean right away to close the deal with East Emperor Holy Land. This deal had to be completed without fail, without a glitch, and the deal must be closed as quickly as possible. Milky Way Horde Leader, we from East Emperor Holy Land have arrived quite some time ago, North True Star Master responded. Very well. Then the boat of Mausoleum sped toward that ruined miniature universe. This video will end here.